What is up, everyone? And thank you for checking out Don't Say the F Word. We are a pro wrestling and combat sports podcast, and we do not use the F word when we talk about professional wrestling. You shouldn't let your friends use it either. I'm Mark the Monster. Thank you for checking us out live right here on Instagram. If you're not checking us out live on Instagram, well, what the heck's wrong with you? Nah, I'm just kidding. Thank you for checking us out wherever it is you're finding us at, whether it's live here on Instagram, where you can find us just about each and every Sunday, sometime around 6:05 to 6:15. All depends. Not really punctual because the big guy is, well, he's not known for being on time. I am. Monsters are always punctual, but the big guy, he drives, so he's not a punctual guy. He gets to places when he gets to places. That's his thing. But if you're checking us out on Spotify, YouTube, Rumble, Google Podcasts, we appreciate you. We appreciate the follow. Please make sure you tell your friends all about us. Just make sure they do not use the F word when they talk about professional wrestling, because, well, that's not very cool to do. That's the biggest reason why we don't do that. Before we get things started, we want to give a big shout out to Live Large Fitness. We just shared one of their posts on our story, so be sure you go and check out our story where you can purchase some last minute gifts. Live Large Fitness, they got Ohio Cookie Company, Crybaby Baker, Gone Bad Glassworks, OK Pants. Live Large is having a warehouse sale, and Art by Casey Hart. You can go and check out some pretty cool stuff there. And it looks like we are going to be getting joined by the illegal brother-in-law, the one and only Joe. Joe, where are you? There we go. There's Joe.
What up?
Joe, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Is that a me problem or a you problem? What?
Oh, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. All right, there we go. I fixed it.
There you go.
I'm good with my technical skills.
You can see.
Yeah. Christmassy, Joe.
There you go. You got everything working out for you. I'm good. I'm proud of you, Mark. You're doing something right. I'll clap for you. Yeah.
There we go. I'm in the holiday spirit, Joe.
I see that. So since you're in the holiday spirit, you feel me? You in the holiday spirit today?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Cool. Where my 5% at?
You got it already. Check's in the mail.
You sure it's in the mail? I don't do.
Stan, is the check in the mail? Stan said check's in the mail. Dan handles all the money. You know that.
No. We do Cash App and Apple Pay. We don't do checks no more, man. Cash App, Apple
You don't
Pay.
do checks in the mail?
That's going home.
I don't know. Cash App and Apple Pay sound a little sketchy. Seems like something the government would be watching, Joe.
Okay, and we got Zelle too. Don't forget about that Zelle. That's good.
Oh, that definitely seems like it's government affiliated. IRS is going to come after me. Hey, wait a minute. Do monsters have to pay taxes?
Yeah, duh. You ain't a human being.
Stan said I didn't have to pay taxes. I haven't been paying taxes, Joe.
Well, there's a place called Rita that's gonna come after you. Okay, so you better get on.
Who the hell is Rita?
You'll find out.
Oh no! I'm gonna get beat up by someone named Rita.
It's way worse than that. Way worse than that.
It's worse than getting beat up?
It's worse than getting beat up.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just giving you a heads up.
I've been getting beat up pretty bad. The big guy has told me he's been beat up a few times. He said it wasn't great.
Well, I'm just gonna put it in a nice way. For you and Stan, tell Stan he might get beat up out of his money. So sorry for him.
You hear that, Stan? We're supposed to be paying taxes. Great. I don't want to go to jail, Joe.
I'm gonna tell you, but you won't go to jail. You just have to make like payments or a payment.
Are they gonna garnish my wages
if you don't make the payment?
No, this is ridiculous. This whole thing's a scam.
You gotta
scam, Joe. I don't want to pay taxes.
Well, just call it. Google when we get done. Just Google Rita, get the number, call them, tell them My bad. I made an honest mistake. I didn't know I had to pay taxes. And
I mean, so let me see if I understand this correctly.
yes,
When I buy something, I have to pay a sales tax,
correct.
but I'm buying that with the money that I make, but they want me to pay taxes on the money that I make.
Correct.
So I'm paying taxes once. I'm making the money, then I got to pay taxes on spending the money.
Correct.
That's taxes twice.
I know.
That sounds a lot like double taxation without representation.
Okay.
That sounds illegal, Joe.
Okay. Say like here's a great example. Say you made $50 right now. $50.
You're gonna give me $50? Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And then I hand you the 50, but then you gotta pay the tax for it. So instead of saying you get 50, you technically got like $43.57.
That doesn't make any sense, Joe. What are you gonna do? Who's getting the other? Who's getting that $7? And what are they gonna do with it?
That's called the IRS. You know.
And the big guy's wife, Mindy, is in the comments getting in, and then you have to pay taxes whenever you sell something too.
See. You not playing with you. So you
All
made
right, so this
50.
whole thing sounds like a scam.
You
I'm
made
getting
50.
here.
You made 50, but you just got technically $47.57.
What's gonna happen with the money I gotta give? How come I gotta give money to people who aren't doing the work? That doesn't make any sense. If I'm doing the work and I'm earning the money, I should be keeping all my money. What are they gonna do with my money? Do I get a receipt for what they do with my money?
Hey, think of it like this.
Whole thing's a scam.
Think of it like this. Think of that nice sidewalk and driveway the big guy got. Where that money went to.
That sidewalk has a crack in it, Joe.
Hey, you gotta call the
I
city and tell
tripped
them.
yesterday.
Well, call the city and tell them fix the sidewalk and
There's
they're
a
gonna get
pothole
$7.
so big on this street. There's an unhomed man living in it.
Well, they're your
It's
$7
filled with
right
water. He had a hot tub yesterday.
Oh, for real? Oh, damn.
Yeah. I mean, he enjoyed it. He was having a great time, but I feel like taxes should fix that. I don't know. If I'm giving you $7, fix the street. This is why Oscar's grouchy. I don't know if you know that. He's grouchy because of taxes.
Oh, well, dear sister, I did not know the city said was their responsibility. My bad. The street, the pothole is the city's responsibility, not just sidewalk and driveway. My bad.
You know, Joe, I told you I was in the holiday spirit. I didn't mean I was into the idea of giving my money to the government. That sounds like a complete scam.
Well, which is better? Keep the money or get fined, pay fees?
Oh, okay. So what you're saying is I can break the rule if I have the money to pay to break the rule?
Exactly.
Oh. Well, that also sounds like a scam. I'll be honest with you. The whole thing sounds real scammy.
Well, look at it this way. You keep the money, don't pay nothing, then you wait till next 2024 to pay it back. How that sound?
But it still sounds like I'm paying people my money.
There you go.
I like the idea of I make the money and then I, Mark the Monster, I keep the money that Mark the Monster makes. I don't understand why I got to give away my money. That doesn't make any sense. Nobody's giving me money. Hey, wait a minute. Yeah, nobody's giving me money. Where's my money, Joe? You want your 5%?
My money.
You realize how much work I do around here? I'm not getting 5%.
Hey.
I got this hat, though. And the hat's pretty cool.
All I can say is
Got a fuzzball on it.
Hey, look at this way. There is somebody right now eavesdropping into our conversation. Right there. Yeah. Eavesdropping
Sure, a valid point. I don't think puppets got to pay taxes.
No, but she
I don't
eavesdropping
have
in our conversation.
representation. Is there a puppet on the Senate? Wait a minute. There might be puppets in the government. That's funny. I made a joke about the government and elected officials being on corporate payroll. I understand American politics.
See, like I said, the nosy person taking all the rest of that percentage.
I think your sister's going to beat you up, Joe.
She can't.
I think she can.
Look, all I gotta do is just stand behind her and say, "Hey."
She can be jumpy sometimes.
Yeah, that's all I gotta do. It's no win. It's a win-win.
You're gonna mess around, you're gonna scare her and get pepper sprayed.
Nah, she still wouldn't have the guts to do it. She'll jump and run like the Flash, maybe.
But all this talk about paying taxes and all that, it all sounds expensive, and the holiday season can be pricey for people, and you end up shelling out a lot of money. Trying to get people you barely see gifts and stuff. But you know what's free, Joe? You know what doesn't cost you a dime?
What's that?
Liking, sharing, and subscribing to the Don't Say the F Word podcast on all your podcasting platforms, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, right here on Instagram. You can follow, you can comment, share this thing with your friends. Make sure they're not saying the F word when they talk about pro wrestling. All of that doesn't cost you a dime. There's no Patreon. You don't got to give anybody money to check us out. None of us have a British accent. Yeah, no pip, pip, cheerio, cheerio. Yeah, none of that. None of that. We're not doing any of that. We're not eating any weird beans for breakfast. So yeah, you don't got to do any of that stuff with us. We're not asking you for money. So yeah, if you appreciate us, we're just looking for the follows, checking out our podcast, sharing it with your friends. But Joe will take money if you want to send it to him. He has the Cash App and the Venmo and
Zelle.
MySpace Pay or whatever the hell it is.
Yep, that's me. Just send it my way. I'll leave links and everything in the description later on today. Okay.
All right. Well, without any further ado, I'm going to let you and the big guy get on to talk about the week in professional wrestling, any of the rumors and things going on. He's I don't know if he's going to tell you about Vince Russo. They're just going to put that out there. So yeah, be prepared for that. And yeah, hey Jeremy, it's time for you to get on the show, bud. I'm going to make sure I can move this camera back and adjust the mic. But hey, Joe, thank you for stopping by. Hey, I'm going to Raw tomorrow night. So anybody in the Cleveland area, if you're going to Monday Night Raw, look out for Mark the Monster. I might even bring the big guy with me. Joe, your sister's going to be there. So if anyone wants to see the big guy's wife and me, Mark the Monster, and the big guy gets there, who knows? Maybe he'll be there. He'll probably be eating nachos or something. Talk to you later, Joe. Mark the Monster out. Oh, yeah, you see that?
I saw that.
See that back there?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, pow. Yeah.
PWO.
PWO.
The following podcast has been brought to you by the Puppet World Order for life. Puppet World Order.
That's a good one. Man, that's not bad. Puppet World Order. That's not bad.
Was he just doing an instrumental?
He did a good job too. I liked it for that.
What is that?
That's the new sponsorship that Mark got.
What is
Puppet World Order? He got a new sponsorship for you. So there you go.
I keep getting stuff from energy drink companies that I think he's trying to work out side deals with to try and get money. I think he owes someone named Stan. I think he owes Stan money.
Oh, so that's what they're talking about. Cool. All right. Shout out to Stan. Hey, Puppet World Order. Hey, I ain't mad.
Taking over. I think the puppets are taking over.
Hey, as they say, you created a monster, not me.
And his name's Mark the Monster. Oh, wait a minute. Mark was in the Holiday Spirit, wasn't he?
He was.
Okay, hold on. Don't say the F word.
Okay.
I got a Santa hat big enough for my head, Joe.
I see that. I see that. Okay.
Hey, you want to
It,
check this out? Just the audio. You're really missing out because I got a big ass head, and I found me a big ass Santa hat to fit my big ass head.
with a baseball cap on too. Not even bad. I ain't even mad at you. That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Yeah. Well, you find those Santa hats, and they're all little, and they're itchy on the inside. And you got a big head too, so I don't know why you're acting like it's just a me problem. So what
I
I
ain't saying
did
it's me.
is I purchased one of those Santa hats that goes on the back of a dining room chair. Fix my head, man.
Oh, dang. Okay, that's a good one.
Hey,
I never would have thought about that.
my head's large, just like me. That's why, big shout out to Live Large Fitness.
Okay, there you go. I
Share some of
wouldn't
their
have
stuff
thought.
on our Instagram story. They're a fitness company local to the area, so big shout out to them. Joe, let me ask you a question.
Go for it.
It's a little unrelated to necessarily the week of pro wrestling, but I shared this earlier today, and should Vince Russo be in the WWE Hall of Fame?
Whew. I mean, ooh. I would say no, but I'll say no. But I would say the things he did, the crazy ideal matches he had that came handy, did work out for him. Some did, and you wouldn't be where you are today with controversy because he did create one of the greatest controversy at Bash at the Beach. So yeah, but really, he should be in
I'm
there.
giving him a lot of props for the Hulk Hogan Jeff Jarrett thing.
I'm giving him props because
The
that
thing
was
that got WCW sued. You're giving him a lot of props for?
I'm giving him props for creating controversy. Yes, I am. That's one good thing, creating controversy. I'm giving
So
him
you're
props.
going with the whole Eric Bischoff controversy creates cash?
Yes, but I'm not saying he should be in it. He shouldn't be in it though. But no, because he would have a lot of people hating on him. A lot of people hating.
Look, man, I will give credit where credit is due, as you know I always do. I give people credit. Even if I dislike them or dislike the idea of them in some situations, man, I can see the man Bischoff. Oh, we got Dynamite Dave. AEW equals WCW. Dave, we'll have that AEW conversation here in a few, man. If you want to hop in, send the request. You could join us live. I'm cool with that. Right now, Dave, we're talking Vince Russo. Vince Russo said that he would not accept the invitation to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, to which I said, that's a lot like poor people saying they don't want billions of dollars. The money ain't coming your way. You don't want something you ain't gonna ever get. No one's trying to induct Vince Russo into the Hall of Fame.
I don't know if you've seen. Even Chris Jericho said he'll turn it down going to the Hall of Fame.
Chris Jericho is a guy who it could be offered to.
Yeah,
And Jericho says that now. That doesn't mean in 3 years he wouldn't.
mm-hmm.
You know who else said it? Scott Steiner said it too.
That is true. He did say that.
And do you honestly think whenever Jericho's AEW contract is up, he's not going back to WWE?
It all depends. It all depends on if they can work out. If they work out good, because he having a good time with his little tour. He be having on that little wrestling matches on. He having on his little boat. He be having every year.
If WWE offered Jericho a deal where he could continue to tour with Fozzy like he wants to, he could do the cruise, and on the cruise, they would let WWE talent select talent and NXT select talent, wrestle on the Jericho cruise, Jericho would 100% go back to WWE. And in that final run, he would go right into the Hall of Fame. No doubt in my mind. And I would actually like to see it. Mostly because I want to go on the Jericho cruise.
I mean, the tickets were, I tried to get them to cruise, but them tickets were like, they're pretty up there.
I agree with Dynamite Dave. Russo has done more to ruin the wrestling business than he's done to benefit it. You know, I think Vince Russo gives himself a ton of credit for the Attitude Era, when the reality is he was on the writing team, and a lot of his craziness got reeled in by Vinnie Mac. And then whenever he went to WCW, he got to just do Vince Russo, and that shit sucked. Hey man, David Arquette.
Yeah. Leave Arquette out. Leave Arquette out. Arquette was one of the best things ever in that match. Leave him alone. He deserves his props for that. Shoot.
I mean, he didn't even want the title. He thought it was the wrong thing to do. Russo insisted. I mean, Russo is a former WCW World Champion.
I'm just saying, Arquette, he took it like a man. He didn't want to do it, but he took the bullet, took every single hit, bump. Whew, I feel bad for him afterwards.
Yeah, maybe Dave says pull of death. Maybe we should put Vince Russo's Hall of Fame ring on a pole. He could wrestle David Arquette to get the Hall of Fame ring.
That's true. I mean, he had a lot of pole matches too. He is known for the pole matches.
ICP, WCW Tag Team Champs. I mean, whoop whoop, right? And tons of people like ICP. I don't know.
I forgot about that.
They're people of questionable music taste, but I digress.
I don't know. I forgot they had the belts. I forgot they had the tag team belts.
Me too, actually.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Hanging out with Vampiro was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool too. But yeah, I don't know. I would say Vince Russo. Nah. And besides, if he did go in there, you would hear probably bro like 30 times. I wouldn't want him to deal with that.
Bro.
Yeah.
Dan Russo. I have infinitely more respect for Eric Bischoff than I have for Vince Russo on so many levels. I might respect Cornette's opinion more than I respect Russo's.
Finally.
It's worth noting, like that's not like a tip of the hat and an accolade to Jim Cornette. Saying I respect your opinion more than I respect Vince Russo's.
But I'm glad you admitted this for one time thing.
Jim Cornette should induct Vince Russo. Dave, stop being a troll, man. Stop poking the bear. I've been battling a headache all day trying to kill it with caffeine, and you're over here wanting Jim Cornette to induct Vince Russo into the Hall of Fame. I can see Cornette going into the Hall of Fame. I can see that.
But you know what? I gotta agree with Dave. That'd be great. That'd be great to see Jim Cornette induct him, just to hear the things he would say about him. That'd be great. I'm saying that'd be great.
I mean, it'd be hilarious because Cornette would really just lay into Russo. It'd be.
He'll throw it down to the T, like.
I think Vince Russo gives himself a lot of credit for a lot of things that is very undeserved. Like, I've never seen someone so confident for literally no reason at all.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my opinion. Dave says, what do we think? CM Punk, is he going to NXT, Raw, or SmackDown?
Raw.
You think Raw?
Raw.
I was going to maybe try to get to this later in the show, but I guess Dave asked the question, so can I get the pencil? Can I get the pencil, Joe?
Oh, Lord. Here we go. Get the pencil.
So, got the pencil. I'm booking this. I'm creative.
It's your own damn fault, Dave.
I'm booking Punk to maybe play the free agent game for a little bit longer, maybe. And we're gonna throw Punk into the Rumble. Come down to the final two, Punk and Cody.
Mm-hmm.
And in a roundabout way, the bloodline costs Cody the Rumble. Punk wins. Punk picks Seth. That institutes a trade for Punk to come over to Raw or be signed to Raw, however you want to do it. I guess he could start off in SmackDown, then you can bring the Raw for this. And in that trade, Cody goes to SmackDown. We line up Cody for Elimination Chamber. Cody wins Elimination Chamber. Cody and the Tribal Chief main event WrestleMania 40 in Philly. I hate to say it, but I'm booking CM Punk to win the Rumble. That gives us Punk and Seth. Because I think the story should be Seth will not wrestle CM Punk. So we're not going to get Seth and Punk at the Rumble. Seth's going to say, I'm not doing the match. I'm not wrestling him. We got to force it to happen. It's got to be forced.
But you do know who they predict the final four are going to be at the Rumble, right?
I haven't heard, but I'm going to throw how I would do it. It would be Cody, Punk, Gunther, main event Jey Uso.
You're close. The first three is correct. The fourth is Orton.
Well, but I would imagine Orton's going to face Roman at Rumble, right?
I don't know. Those are the final four. Gunther, Cody, Punk, Orton.
Because right now, Roman's going to have to do Rumble. And the only believable opponent that anyone could think, man, they might beat Roman, is going to be Randy Orton. Nobody else until we get to Cody. Dave says LA Knight, Punk, Cody, and Jey Uso. But Gunther's got to be in the final four. He's got to be. Mm-hmm. How do we get to the final four and not have Gunther be there? Who the hell beats Gunther?
Injury beats Gunther.
Kayfabe injury? Or we wait till he actually gets hurt? Because I don't think he can get hurt.
I'm going to say an actual injury that you least expect.
I think maybe the only, when do you even take the IC title off of Gunther? He's going to have to carry it through Mania, because it's going to be him and Brock at Mania, right?
That's the deal. That's supposedly the deal. Him and Brock.
Do you bring Dragunov up from NXT? Bring Dragunov up, and he could be the guy who beats Gunther?
He's got the North American title.
Dragunov has the NXT title.
Yeah, no. Oh, wrong one. Think about.
Yeah, you're thinking Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee just won the NXT title. And man, him and Dom did a damn good match.
They did.
Dave is sick of these champs keeping the belts?
I'm out.
What the hell, Dave?
I'm out. I'm going to say this right now. The only reason why Roman Reigns got the belt this long is because they doing it like the Bruno Sammartino back in the day. With it, Bruno had that belt. He probably had, 3 matches a year? At least 3 matches a year where he defended that belt. And that was it.
You know, I recently read a quote by John Moxley.
The Mox, okay.
Mox said that belts don't necessarily matter. He's never seen a belt get someone over in his life. Never seen putting a belt on somebody and get them over. kind of have to agree with Mox, right? Just because you give someone a belt doesn't mean they're over. I think these long title reigns are making titles matter. Dave says you don't let LA Knight go for another title shot, the world title. You let him get the IC. I guess I could see maybe Knight beating Gunther, maybe, but I don't think so. How do you book him to beat Gunther? Gunther's final boss.
I want to say
it has to be a supreme underdog, so it has to be somebody like Dragunov. I'm going to be honest. I could be a belt collector. I look like I could hold this down. My shoulders are broad enough. My back's strong enough. I could carry 4 belts at once, Joe.
You got the European title?
No, I don't got a European. Old school IC.
I see that.
Old school cruiserweight, which I'm definitely not a cruiserweight.
But no tag team belt. No tag team belt.
Then I got double world. But just Dave says world title means nothing with Roman Reigns, and letting him keep it the bloodline always got to help him. So yeah, I get that. I get people are sick of it. It's wearing thin, but that's the point. Like, I understand the creative mindset in Roman carrying these belts this long, because how do you get Roman booed? How do you do it? He's so over. So over. He's the ultimate heel. You look at how his style has evolved. He wrestles a heel style. So how does a heel wrestle? Anything to win.
You know what'd be funny? Be the biggest heel in the world if he beats whoever this year at WrestleMania and goes away for like another year with that belt.
Man,
just saying.
I don't think you can have back-to-back WrestleManias in this era where you don't send the fans home happy. So I think he kind of has to drop it this year. I really do. But I get it. People are supposed to be getting sick of it. That's the point of this booking. You eventually have to get him booed. So having him not show up, he's not on the show, which makes him an attraction. What made Andre the Giant so special? You didn't see a giant every day. What made Brock Lesnar so special? You didn't see Brock every week. What makes Roman Reigns so special? Man, it means something if you're a SmackDown and the tribal chief is there. First of all, you're getting a 25-minute promo from a guy who has learned to deliver a great promo because he believes all of it. He's the ultimate heel. The problem is he isn't booed by the crowd yet. They booed him whenever he was supposed to be a babyface. But now he's so good. Like, whenever he said he's in God mode, he's right. He carried that company through the pandemic. He strapped the company on his back and made it worth billions of dollars. Rewind the clock. Let's go back. 2017 WWE. Babyface Roman Reigns. Those pictures people are taking of AEW today, of the empty seats in the arena, that was the pictures they were taking of WWE then. Being shared time and time again by people who don't go to wrestling shows. You don't get me started on that. That's back to Dave's AEW equals WCW comment, which there's some parts of that kind of are a legitimate argument of things I don't agree with that AEW has done. I don't think they're WCW. I don't think AEW is going away anytime soon. I still think it's a profitable business, but I don't know. I think having Roman continue to pull out all the stops to win is how you get the crowd to hate him. They have to hate him so that way whenever somebody beats him, it matters that much more. fans hated Ric Flair because he would cheat to win. Dirtiest player in the game.
It's not coming off, so chill. The belt's gonna be on here for a while.
I think it comes off at Mania. Now, I thought it was coming off this past Mania.
I knew it wasn't gonna come off. I knew it wasn't. I was happy.
I guess I should rephrase it, because I think if we go back and watch those episodes leading up, I think I was very back and forth. AEW is not going to be dead by 2025, Dave. It's not going to happen. It's not not at all the case. People who think that, and who legitimately think that, because I think you're trolling me, Dave. I think people who legitimately think that don't understand business. And certainly don't understand how the TV business works, which, granted, I'm no TV exec, but I understand corporate landscape of things. And just because of what people think is what's supposed to make you money, and people may think you're doing things that are losing you money in a corporate structure, AEW is just fine. I think they are 100% fine. And I've said it for a very long time where we've talked about the ticket sales and the ratings. They don't matter. Not as much as like casual fans think they do, or people who are online sharing pictures of empty arenas that they weren't there to take the picture of. So, like, I learned a long time ago, in life in general, you don't take financial advice from someone who's broke. So a wrestling fan who doesn't buy tickets to a wrestling show probably shouldn't tell a billion-dollar promoter that his company's failing because he can't afford to go to the wrestling show. They put on the belt on Cody, the biggest thing in the past 10 years. I agree, and I think they should put the belt on Cody in Philly. WrestleMania 40, I think Cody should win it. Here's the problem whenever they do that, though. And this is like a fundamental issue. When you put that belt on Cody, what next?
Not your John Cena.
Do we? Because wrestling fans are very different today than they were in the Cena era. Wrestling fans today can be a little fickle. Oh, we got the big man, Sam Stackhouse, check us out. What's up, buddy? I worry about Cody beating Roman and the fact that I'm afraid fans will turn on him in WWE like they did in AEW. Like, I'm a Cody mark. You know, I'm a big fan of Cody Rhodes. You know, and I wish fans wouldn't have turned on him in AEW because I think that's kind of the thing that kind of started shifting. We could do Cody versus Punk. Cody versus Punk post-Mania could be a thing. I think it probably needs to be Orton versus Cody. Because the next title, now after we take the belt off of Roman, what next? Cody, AJ? We got to talk about AJ Styles here in a minute. Because there's some rumors about AJ Styles. But after, let's say Cody wins Mania. If Cody wins, his title reign probably can't be a lengthy one, right? They're going to have to hot potato it a bit.
SummerSlam.
Right? We're going to have to bounce it around a bit because we can't burn people out again. And I'll always say it. It's better for a heel to be your world champion. My question is, can we turn Cody heel?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
You think he's going to run the Cena thing? You think he's going to be a career babyface?
Look at the moments. If you go back in time, when Cena was the Dr. Thugonomics, people hated him. I liked him as Dr. Thugonomics. I liked him as that. But the moment
that was a good character.
But the moment when he started, you saw him slowly transition from when he first started feud with JBL. You started seeing him lead the Thugonomics and slowly turn into the Cena now.
Yeah.
Then we got that U.S. title. You kind of heard the new theme song come in slowly. Bam. My time is now. Then he got the was, was the world heavyweight or WWE? Which one was it? It was one of them. Yeah, it was one of them. That's when the whole babyface brand came. Now look at it. They tried to turn Cena heel so many times after that. It wouldn't work because he did the Make-A-Wish. Over 600 Make-A-Wishes. Got every kid from 5 to 15 in love with him. Superhero. Look at Cody. Today, you got the kids, 5 to 16. They like him. And the moment they turn him heel, that's going to be like a cut.
I don't even know how you could do it, to be honest. I mean, I'm sure they would find a way. WWE always finds a way to make a character work, get a thing to happen. The Roman experiment just took a long time. I don't know how you can make Cody Rhodes a heel. I don't know what you could do. I mean, I guess he could dye his hair black and do a dog collar match. I don't know.
No, the only way you can do it, I'll tell you how you can do it. Let's just say he fought somebody twice. Let's just use LA Knight as an example. LA Knight. Let's just say him and LA Knight had a couple matches back to back. He beat him once, kept the belt. Then the next pay-per-view, LA Knight wins the belt. Cody do the little raise a hand, cheer, then clothesline him, beat him up, destroy him. Gets all mad at him because you ruined my father's dream. And since you ruined my father's dream, I'm gonna become the American Nightmare.
Yeah, so you just have to go like classic heel turn and just he beats up the next white meat babyface.
Mm-hmm.
Hogan was the Make-A-Wish king. And I don't know. It's hard to believe Hogan was the Make-A-Wish king. I mean, Cena definitely did more. And I don't know. I don't believe Hogan did many Make-A-Wish things. I feel like I don't believe anything Hogan's ever said. I don't know.
I'm just saying. You got Cena. Oh, like what? I think they said 615 maybe?
Something like that. It was over 600. It's a lot. He's done a lot with Make-A-Wish.
He went out of his way all the years just to stop and make that one little kid happy.
I mean, who knows? I don't know how long Cody's WWE deal is. What if Cody goes back? He goes back to AEW in a couple years. I know Dave thinks AEW is going to be out of business come 2025. I don't think so. I think the TV rights are going to make them good money. I think it's all about the advertising and the TV deal. I mean, Tony Khan's a billionaire. A billionaire businessman. He can afford to lose the money.
Yeah.
He ain't going to go broke. He could lose money in AEW for the next decade and still be a billionaire. And the company's profitable. They're making money. And it's not about Dave says Cody's deal was 5 years. 5 years. He's 2 years in, 3 years from now, talking 2026, he'd go back to AEW.
I don't think he will.
I don't think he will either. But wouldn't that be something? I mean, I didn't think CM Punk was going to be back in WWE this year either. I didn't think Cody was leaving AEW for WWE. I didn't think CM Punk was going to be on NXT's Premium Live event on a Saturday night up against AEW's Collision, which was a show solely created for CM Punk to be on. Didn't think that shit was going to happen.
I didn't think so neither.
Never say never in pro wrestling, my friend.
I still would wait for CM Punk to come back later, but like they said, what better way to get the crowd hyped than in Chicago?
Yeah, I was surprised they did it in Chicago. I just didn't think they needed to. But, I mean, he's continued to be the guy that everyone's always talking about. He's going to be in Cleveland tomorrow night. I'll be there. Mark will be there. Your sister's going to be there.
There you go.
But I'm not decided whether I'm going to boo or cheer him I want to boo him. But when Cult of Personality hits, I'm probably going to cheer him.
You're going to hear that. You're going to jump out that seat.
So Dave says that there ain't no chance Triple H lets Cody go back. Cody's geared up to be a behind-the-scenes guy when it's in-ring time ends. That's likely. But you're also working on the idea that Triple H is the guy in charge, and wherever Cody's contract goes up, we'll see what happens. I mean, you got a merger of large corporations under one umbrella. Things can change. Things can change quite quickly. But I think right now what we have to be a very interesting time in pro wrestling as we look ahead to 2024 is I think we now have an interesting battle for number 2. Number 1's always going to be WWE. There was a moment in time in 2019 where I thought, man, in a few years, maybe AEW could be number 1. There was a lot of buzz, man. It had an energy to it, and it just felt special. They've moved a long way from that. That it's not as hot of a product as it was then. Part of that is pro wrestling fans are very fickle. Part of that, the heart and soul of AEW left. I consider Cody Rhodes to be the heart and soul of AEW. He left, the product changed. QT Marshall is leaving, citing that it's becoming more sport-oriented, which doesn't make any sense to me, that it's becoming more like New Japan. If that's the case, that's a move in the right direction, because that's where they started. What I see in AEW is it's become more and more like WWE, which is what nobody wanted it to be. Dave said he's a big fan of Punk. If he does what he's doing now, it can be huge. I like Punk. I don't know. I think it's difficult, though. It's hard to buy into the character. Like me and you talked about last week. It's hard to buy the CM Punk character now because you can't be the anti-WWE guy.
I can say this. After watching that NXT last night, well, not last night, but right now, I saw Punk, and he looked chill, laid back. He looked happier than he was in AEW. He looked way happier.
Well,
you saw his expression. He looked happy.
Well, yeah, because he can't be angry CM Punk. You gotta think about what the last 10. Think about the last 10 years of what Punk has been. 10 plus, whatever you want to call it. I mean, let's go back to 2011, the pipe bomb. CM Punk's entire persona and character since 2011 was being the angry guy at WWE. He says WWE will always be number 1. WWE will always be number 1 now. But there was a point in 2019 where, I mean, WWE sucked. It was difficult to watch the show points of time. Yeah, 2018, 2019, the product was not good. That's why we needed AEW. We needed an alternative. Without AEW, WWE is not as good as it is today. That's period. They needed the competition. They needed somebody new to come along and shake things up. But Punk's entire character has been, I'm mad at WWE. But now he's back. He has to play nice. But the whole character is, I don't like WWE. I don't like the big corporation. I'm the underdog. I'm the multi-millionaire underdog fighting for the people. How the hell can he be that now?
He's not here to make friends. He's here to make money.
Right. Which is so contrary to what being punk rock is. Punk rock is DIY everything. It's not a corporate landscape. It's not, it's not being sponsored by Pepsi because you have the Pepsi tattoo. It's not. It's very weird to me. How does he continue to be who CM Punk is now? They say AEW is run by kids and the biggest mark of all. Yeah, Tony Khan is a mark. That's for sure. They just need to go back to where they were in their roots and be an alternative. Don't stop trying to be WWE because you can't beat them at being WWE.
You know what it is? Everybody wants to beat the Giant, but they can't beat the Giant. Even if you try, you can't beat the Giant.
I think had Vince not taken a step back and Triple H taken more of the creative reins, I think we would have seen AEW continue to build up and WWE continue to drop down. Because what Vince McMahon was putting out there in WWE 2017, 2018, the bulk of 2019 was a bad product. Certainly, comparatively speaking, you think those first 4 months of AEW, pre-pandemic. So AEW started October of 2019. AEW started in October 2019 with their first TV thing. Like they did some pre-shows and pay-per-views, but like the first Dynamite, I think was October of 2019. And then shortly after that, Brock Lesnar beat Kofi Kingston in 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Dave asked if I'm an AEW mark. Man, I like pro wrestling. I'm a pro wrestling mark. There's no brand loyalty. I like them both, but I'll call them both out on their bullshit too.
Don't know you. That's all it is.
I said it time and time again. AEW has lacked consistency and coherency, and that's a problem. But whenever they kicked off, those first Dynamites, man, those were fantastic.
They were good.
There was an energy, man. We went to some of those early shows, me and Mindy, and man, there was an energy in that crowd. We went on a pro wrestling journey. Drove Cleveland to Nashville to Memphis, hitting WWE shows. We followed, and those shows are great.
Wait. So, how do you know everybody wants out of AEW? That's all I want to know, Dave. That's all I want to know. Matt Hardy only wants out because his creator is going not the way he wanted.
MJF is probably already re-signed.
Britt Baker just don't like how the women's division is acting right now. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And Miro, I don't know about Miro.
Okay, so Dave brings up Miro. So let's. This episode's like all over the place. Dave's in here sparking my ADHD, and we're just bouncing. So I apologize to anyone checking us out and trying to keep track of where we're going here.
Wait. I just want everybody to know. Don't worry. After this day, there won't be no bother from Dave. This is gonna be the last time jumping in conversations. Okay. Sorry, Dave. Still like you.
What, you predicting that Dave's gonna not resign?
Yeah.
One of the biggest things with AEW that I've been pretty vocal about and not really agreed with is the signing of ex-WWE talent. And mostly because, and I revert this back to how I say wrestling fans are fickle, and that includes Tony Khan as being a wrestling fan. So Tony Khan likes to sign guys who he's a fan of. And there was a period of time prior to Miro being released by WWE where everyone was very, Rusev isn't being used right. He should be a world champion. They should do more with him. They should push him. They're holding him back. And that Vince doesn't see all this talent.
Mm-hmm.
Gets signed to AEW, comes in, does whatever this gamer gimmick is, and he's the best man to
the best. Yeah.
And then he converts over to being the Redeemer, which is a decent gimmick.
He went back to his normal character in WWE when he was Rusev.
Yeah, he just did that same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here's my thing. I thought Rusev Day was funny because of Aiden English singing Rusev Day. That's what got Rusev Day over.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that Miro was great in ring or great on the mic in WWE. It was just someone who had a good shirt and fans wanted to pretend like he should get pushed. Just like they did with Daniel Bryan. Just like they did with Claudio. Just like they did with Broken Matt Hardy. Just like they've done with Edge.
Talking about the number one, Zack Ryder.
Yep. Cardona is a guy who's gotten himself over on the indies and is probably doing just as well financially as he was in WWE, and he's doing it his way. But a good chunk of these folks who fans felt weren't being used properly in WWE and should have been being pushed signed to AEW. Couple of issues. I will say Tony Khan holds a piece of that for creative by not having anything for these guys, by having such a bloated roster.
Mm-hmm.
However, what do you really do with these guys? How the hell do you get Miro over? With an AEW crowd.
Oh, he beats Orange Cassidy for that.
Dave, you're right. I'm naming all former WWE stars who WWE couldn't get them over and AEW can't get them over. So how do you get Miro over? What do?
You have him beat Orange Cassidy for that what the belt he got? It's called
the International.
There you go.
Supersonic Intergalactic title that Orange Cassidy has. You could do that, but Miro was TNT champ. That still didn't get him over. How do you book him? How do you get him over? Because here's a reality. Is that much like how I have ADHD, I think a lot of pro wrestling fans do too. And they get an idea in their head of the shiny new toy and the shiny pro wrestler that they think should be a superstar, and then they get it, and then they lose interest because they're not doing anything to keep them interested. And then you have a bulk of them who, this is like a really weird thing, that people are talking about the Daniel Bryans handing out fines for wrestlers' social media stuff.
I heard about that, yeah.
I don't know if that's factual, but if he is, good. Someone in that company should be acting like a damn boss. And people who think it's like a bad thing and they go, oh, these wrestlers should be able to do it. Listen, these wrestling fans who think that pro wrestlers should be able to go on social media and shit on the company they work for, I'm guessing haven't had a job. Like, you can't do that. Like, you just can't do that. Like, it makes the company look bad. You know, it's sitting as AEW fans and going to an AEW show to cheer wrestlers they like, to then share pictures of empty seats, and then, oh, no one's at the show. Like, you're trying to make the thing you like look bad. That doesn't make any sense to me.
It really don't.
Right? I don't understand that mentality. That would be like paying for a ticket to go to a concert to then go on and talk about how the band you paid to go see sucks. Who does that make sense to?
A diehard fan that just got mad because the lead singer got sick and said, I'm sorry, fans, we got to cancel the show for the night.
Yeah, I don't get it. And like, I also don't understand the tribalism in pro wrestling. The products aren't different. Pro wrestling is pro wrestling. There's all kinds of different little pieces, parts of every show. There's going to be parts of a show that's not for you. But the fans who are like, AEW is terrible. Yeah, there's some issues in the creative. But the shows are still good. The matches are still good. Rather have them than not have them.
I think the problem with AEW is they get the right person, but they book them against the wrong person.
I think they have a hard time with people who were established somewhere else. They have a hard time bringing WWE guys in and figuring out how to use them. And they let the roster get so bloated that it just becomes hard to book people in meaningful things. And they do a lot of start and stop. They're currently doing a lot of what WWE was doing in 2018, 2019. Start a story, drop a story. Start a story, drop a story. And that's just hard. Because again, I don't think that we ever got the ending to Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. I still don't think I don't think that finished.
You know what's funny? I was watching the podcast earlier today, and they said they still never saw that rematch. That was the main thing they said AEW never did, was bring back that rematch.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that start and then just kind of stop, and that's a lot of what Vince was doing. Vince was doing that in 2019. This thing starts, this thing stops, or we just run the same story and different people are doing it. But I think AEW is still a great wrestling show. I think there's some issues. I think you were 100% right, Joe. Saturday is a bad day for Collision.
Thank you. That's all I got to say.
I think maybe it should be Thursday. Maybe.
Then they go against TNA.
Yeah, it'd be a difficult one. You know, we ended up on this because I think we have something interesting coming in 2024, and it's a battle for number 2. TNA signed a streaming deal with Endeavor, WWE's parent company.
I saw it.
And TNA, man, it's a good wrestling show. I haven't been watching it consistently enough, but I do think I agree with what D'Lo Brown said. If you give it 4 weeks right in a row, you're going to come back for week 5. Because what I've caught at the matches, and it's on Thursday, and I'll put it on, but I'm usually working, so it's a little hit and miss. And sometimes I bounce between it and a little bit of the Ring of Honor show. But man, TNA is good. Impact Wrestling is a great wrestling show. So is Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor puts on great matches too. Dave says that AEW's problem is Tony Khan. Oh, man, I disagree. I think that Tony Khan's a smart businessman. Yeah, WWE's new TV deal is huge. It's going to be, for sure. Especially if, what happened? Warner Brothers Discovery could buy the TV rights to Raw.
No, they couldn't.
There's word that they're interested. Clearly, they like pro wrestling.
But they can't afford what they wanted.
I mean, they got the money. Imagine, what did they put Raw on one of the Warner networks? What if they threw it on TBS alongside Dynamite? We had AEW and WWE hanging out in the same network.
I think Raw should stick with USA.
Sami Callihan's WWE bound at Rumble. Oh, I don't think so. I don't think Sami Callihan's going WWE. They're not going to let him run Wrestling Revolver. WWE's not going to let him run his own promotion while he's with WWE. And Wrestling Revolver does great shows. They put on great matches. They get tons of good talent. He seems to really, really have a passion for having his own promotion. I'd be surprised if he goes to WWE. They're certainly not going to have him be in ring. They probably want to use him as an agent or something. And if he's going to be an agent, why wouldn't he just do his own show? You know, I think Wrestling Revolver is just a good promotion. It's solid. Sasha Banks maybe going back to WWE.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'd be surprised. She seemed very adamant, but so was Punk, I guess. Money talks, but I don't care.
I'm just gonna say Sasha probably would go back because Vince is not in control. If Vince
He's
not
still
in
there.
Control, he's still there, but he's not in control.
Mm.
He's not in control.
He's not running creative, allegedly.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's again part of the program that's not booked for me. It's not for me.
That's me. I watch it for you. Sorry, Dave.
Yep. Yeah, that's Joe's part of the show. Just whenever I go to the bathroom,
Mhm.
or if I'm watching fast forward, I'm at Raw. I'll probably go get nachos. Just not my part of the show. I don't know who that programming is booked for.
Hey, they ain't gonna die. You tripping? See, as,
Crazy.
look, as being the co-host, I don't get my 5%. You're officially banned. Okay, banned. Leave. Jump. Don't come on here no more. Don't come over. No.
I mean, you know what though? There's a lot of people who share the same opinion Dave has. I mean, Jim Cornette said they weren't going to make it 18 months.
That is true.
I think people forget how deep Tony Khan's pockets are. He can lose money with AEW for 10 years and still be a billionaire. And the thing is, he's not losing money. They're profitable. They're making money.
I can say this: the only way AEW is going to die is if they for some reason, lose their sponsorship or lose their cable deal.
That's not going to happen. Dynamite still pulls in over 800,000 viewers consistently every single week. That's a good number. It's a good number today. Rampage and Collision are lower, like I don't know, like 300,000 to 500,000, I think, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But here's my thing. Well, this is very important to me.
Let's hear it.
I, as a wrestling fan, don't give a shit about the ratings. I don't care. Most of the time, I'm not watching live. And his daddy's got more money than him. So they're not running out of money anytime soon. And they're making money. The AEW is a profitable company. But for me, I don't care what the ratings are for AEW. I don't care how many people are at the arenas for the shows. And MJF isn't leaving. He probably already resigned. But to me, less people at a show means less people I have to be around when I go to the show. It doesn't affect my TV product at home. It's the same show. AEW's TV was really, really good during the pandemic. They were at Daly's place with no one in the arena but wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone who acts like fans not being there is somehow like a determination of a promotion dying, somehow forgets that 2020 ever happened. MJF ain't leaving because he most likely already re-signed his contract.
You know, the only thing I can say, I wish they would leave back in the pandemic is Stadium Stampede. That's it. I wish they leave that back in 2020.
Is what?
Stadium Stampede.
Oh, that match? Yeah, that's a weird gimmicky match. I don't like it.
They should leave that. They should have just had that one-time thing and instead of during the pandemic.
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know if they can make it better. I think, like, when we look at, like, things that got hot during the pandemic with AEW were things that they weren't able to capitalize on, or things like, our wrestlers like Wardlow. And if you look at, like, the polar opposites in, like, well, you look at the opposites in WWE versus things in AEW that probably should have gotten the same push. Look at Braun Breaker. And you look at Braun Breaker and Wardlow are like the same character. WWE kept pushing Braun Breaker. AEW kind of let Wardlow's stock drop.
He got injured, though. He got injured.
Right. But they could have kept him on TV. There were ways. Dave said he'll let me book Redline Pro Wrestling when they get the opportunity to start it up. Tell you what, man, we can talk about that. I could be creative on a wrestling show.
What about me?
I could do something.
I don't get nothing. Damn. Sure.
No, he might throw you something, Joe, but you just remember, you just tried to ban him from the podcast. I think he may have burned a bridge.
He knows he's not much playing. That's all. He's not playing.
I mean, I guess there's a chance that MJF did resign. A lot of reliable sources say MJF did resign. Nothing right now indicates to me that MJF would really leave for WWE. With Punk going to WWE, man, I don't know where MJF would even fit.
I'm just saying, MJF's character is better off in AEW than
It
anywhere
100%.
else.
I don't know where his return to being a heel comes into play. That's got to come into because he's just such a good heel. Man, AEW gave him millions of dollars. Tony Khan backed up the Brinks truck and paid that man a lot of money. And he doesn't have to leave in January to go to WWE. He could re-sign with AEW for a huge check from AEW. He's very, very young. He has a long time ahead of him to go to WWE. So, I don't know.
See, in my opinion, the MJF character would not fit very well in the WWE.
No, and you know why? They already got The Miz.
Mm-hmm.
They already got Miz. Where do you put MJF? Someone's already filled that role in WWE, and they've been doing it for 20 years. There's only so many spots to do the same character, and he can't do another character. Like, you can't take him and repackage him as something else for WWE. He can only ever be that. You could do it with Brian Pillman Jr. You had an angle to work it, and he wasn't a big star in AEW. And now he just has big teeth, and the shit looks weird. He went to Roman Reigns' dentist, and the shit's uncomfortable. Like, I don't like seeing him smile. I don't like it. It's unnatural. What is with pro wrestlers getting the big fake-ass teeth? I don't get it.
Okay. So look at it like this. You know how they say when you get older, your teeth gonna fall out. So they just get the teeth taken out now. Get the dentures put in.
But it just looks weird. Like, it took me almost a year to get used to looking at Roman Reigns' face with his giant chiclets they put in there. I'm used to it. I can't get used to it with Brian Pillman Jr. Between the fake teeth and the weird shit he does with his facial hair, I don't get it. It's off-putting.
You think like this. You got the fake teeth, so all you gotta do is just take them out, put them in water, make sure they clean every day, and that's about it.
I think they're veneers. I think they're attached.
Oh damn! Oh yeah.
But I think AEW, there's work to do creatively, but that's pro wrestling. Every promotion always has its highs and its lows. It's a roller coaster. It's just how it goes. It'll come back up. It'll be hot again.
Mm-hmm.
Next summer, it'll probably be smoking hot again. They just need the right thing. And that right thing could be the rumor of AJ Styles.
And, if he goes, he goes.
So the rumor I'm seeing is that his contract's up in January.
Yeah.
That he could be potentially leaving. Now, I would imagine that there's the option for WWE to do an extension because of his injury time, and I would imagine they would exercise that and keep him. They wanted to bring him in to AEW when his contract was up a couple years ago, when I got out the gate with AEW. He was going to come in with the Good Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't happen. There was also talk of the original formation of AEW. They really wanted him. Now would be a cool time for him to go. Well, the issue in WWE is that the OC is not over at all in WWE. If you brought AJ Styles into AEW right now and you teamed him with the Young Bucks to form a heel faction, that shit would be cool. That would be hot. People would be interested.
Yes, that would be. Oh.
But I don't think that can happen in January when his contract's up because I would imagine there's the option to extend his contract, and WWE is definitely going to extend his contract. And he did originally say whenever he re-signed with WWE, that was his last contract. After that was up, he was probably going to hang it up.
That is true. Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to see what happens. What's your predictions for tomorrow night on Raw, Joe?
Tomorrow night on Raw, this is what's going to happen. You're going to see Judgment Day versus the what's it called? The brothers. The new tag team. The NXT champions.
Oh, great. Now I can't remember the Creed brothers.
There we go. I knew it, brothers. You're gonna see them probably fight for the belts tomorrow, and Jimmy Day probably gonna lose them just like Dominic Mysterio lost. You're gonna see, well, CM Punk probably gonna be the last one.
You think Punk's going to close out the show?
Nah, I think Punk gonna open the show for you, so you be happy.
God, I hope Punk opens the show.
And then
Be
you're
a
gonna
great
have
way to kick it off.
and then you're gonna have Mr. Seth Rollins come out saying that I don't like you. Why are you here? Go to SmackDown. Don't be on Raw if you know what's best for business.
Yeah. Or he could just say, I'm never giving you the title shot. That could be the way to do it. I think Raw's going to be a great show. Again, Raw's in Cleveland. Me and my wife will be there. Mark will be there. Tomorrow would have been my mom's 63rd birthday, had she not passed in 2018. So it's a great day for Raw to be in Cleveland for us to go. My mom would be so excited that we're going to wrestling. I'll be so excited this podcast exists, and I've gotten to interview all kinds of fighters and had some wrestlers on the show, and hopefully many more.
You get to say yeet now.
Yeah, I get to say yeet. Yeah, they so the shirts sold out on WWEshop.com after they said they couldn't do them. There was only 5 X's left on WWEshop.com that night. So I really, really, really hope they have yeet shirts in Cleveland tomorrow. If they do, I'm probably going to have to pick one up. Your sister was looking for one for me for Christmas. She said, yeah, they were completely gone. So there was no way to get them.
Tell sister I'm XL, okay? If you see one, XL.
I'm hoping they have some kind of special Punk shirt since, last time he was in Cleveland, he walked out. I hope they have something special.
They got
usually
new
they
one.
don't buy merch at a wrestling show. They usually don't do it.
His new shirt is Hell Has Frozen.
Yeah. If that's all they have, I'm not going to buy a Punk shirt. Yeah.
I think
generally at a wrestling show, I don't buy them. I usually rather go to like Alt Wrestling Tees or something. Big shout out to Alt Wrestling Tees. But yeah, I don't know. The WWE shirts at the shows aren't good quality shirts. They're not the best quality. Your sister's found me some better shirts online and stuff. But if anyone check us out, if you're at Raw in Cleveland, you see Mark the Monster, stop by and say hello. We will be back. I don't know, maybe sometime later on this week, Joe. When do you start your new job?
It's gonna be maybe in January.
All right. Well, we'll figure it out, guys. Thank you for checking us out. Make sure you follow Don't Say the F Word on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Rumble, Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcast, MySpace.
MySpace.
I don't know. I have no idea. You have to ask Mark. I don't know if Mark made a MySpace for us or not. Mark said if you are at Raw in Cleveland tomorrow and you bring your replica belts, he's going to be challenging you to a game of rock, paper, scissors, and he's going to take your strap.
He is going to take the strap.
These are all the ones he's collected. So have your rock, paper, scissors game ready, folks. We're out.
All right. We're out.